Hi everybody, welcome to another little coffee with Jo and a little catch up. Sorry I've been absent for a while, but I've had this lovely little chest infection. You know, this little chest virus that's going round. Well, yes, yours truly's been suffering. But anyway, I'm feeling much better now. I'm back with it and I have missed you all. So I thought we'd have a little play today with, just to get me sort of back into the swing of it, we're going to use PanPastels today. Now, I don't know if any of you've got them. If you haven't, just grab a coffee anyway, grab yourself a nice biscuit and let's have a chat. If you have got PanPastels, maybe you haven't used them for a while, so maybe now's the time to actually get them out and have a play. I thought we'd go for a bit of a sort of a Halloween type theme today. So let's get started. I must apologise obviously if my voice goes a bit croaky or I start coughing, do bear with me. So, and I have to say I've got some water today, so that'll keep the voice going. Carl's actually thought it's been wonderful because I've hardly been able to speak for the last couple of weeks, so he's made the most of it. I've been very quiet. So what we're going to do first, so PanPastels, if you don't have any PanPastels, these are PanPastels, and all it is a pastel, and a little bit like the stick pastels you get, but they come in pan form, which just means a shallow container. You get paint in pan form, well, this is just pastel in pan form. And they are a product that a lot of my ladies that come to my workshops have. So every so often I like to get them out because I am a believer, if you buy a product, it is good to keep using it, keep going back to it. We all have favourites, don't we? We fall in and out of love with products, so hence why I'm using these. Now, what we're going to do first is I want to show you a nice little trick with these. So I've got my stamp here. I think this is one of the mushroom lanterns, and we're going to use our Versamark ink. So that's a sticky ink pad. So it's the one you would normally use for your either your watermark effect or your embossing, heat embossing. And we're just going to stamp randomly some of these on. Shall we go sort of, yeah, let's do this. I want one off the page there. Ooh. And let's just put another one there. Obviously I don't want them all at the same height. We just want some random stamping, and I'll clean that later. Now the beauty of this is it's slightly coloured because obviously my Versamark isn't quite as clean as it should be, and probably the stamp isn't as clean as it should be, but hey ho. So what this will is give us a resist. So what we're going to do, the way we put PanPastels on is with a sponge, and a bit like with my inks, I'm a firm believer that you never clean or wash your sponges. I just have designated areas for designated colours, and you put your pastel on by a swipe, and that's all we need, one. Like the ink, you don't need a lot. And I'm just going to show you now, put some, now look, I've got a mark on my card, but don't worry, it is quite a forgiving technique, this. I love doing this with children. It's a bit like, did you ever do magic painting? Those little books where you used to paint with water and colours would appear. I don't know if you have those where you are, but we certainly had them when I was little. And look at that. So obviously where your sticky ink is, you're going to get that. Look at that. And it's so lovely to do if you stamp it up, and obviously if you've got a clean ink stamp and you can't see the Versamark. I've done it with children and said, oh look, and just put the PanPastel on, and obviously the pictures appear, and they think you're so clever. Well, my grandchildren do anyway. I'm going to add some darker blue now, just to bring in a bit more dramatic. And again, I'm just doing a little bit like you do with your ink, circular motions going round. And then I'm going to go back in with my lighter area and just blend again, very much like I would do with my inks. And then I'm going to bring in this lovely purpley colour, and again I've got a sponge with a designated purple area, so again swipe down, and I'm just going to come in. You will notice I am on my craft mat because obviously I am going to get a bit of dust with these, which probably isn't the best when my chest's not good, but hey ho. We can cope, can't we, ladies? I must say I have missed you. But it is nice because I do read all your comments. And it's so lovely that you do look at the past little tutorials I've done. And it is lovely. Thank you to those that are joining in with the workshops. I must get another one recorded as well. I mean, if anybody wants a workshop with these, if there's enough of you that have got them, I'm more than happy to do you a little workshop. So there we go. So I'm just blending it. And what I want to do for some drama, I've got this lovely coarse one, which is a black and it's got glitter in. So let's get my glittery. And again, one swipe. And I'm just going to go around the edge. Very much, as I say, like I would do with my inks. So again, I always ink up on the corner. Go all the way around. You will notice they are highly pigmented, so you will get messy fingers. But I do find for drama and lovely backgrounds, what we'll do is we'll pop these to one side. Just get rid of those. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to almost make a bit of the landscape bit next. So for that, look at my hands. Just give these a bit of a wipe. So we're going to use, again, like we would, it's nothing difficult. It's the same things as we do with our ink. Just a piece of copy paper. Now let's see if I've got one that I've stamped up. Yeah. No point using a clean piece, is there? So let's create some, like we would with our inks. Let's just see if we can get a bit of landscaping going on here. Where's my black? There we go. So let's make it quite dark at the front. So again, just like you would with your ink. Now, let's see, that one needs a bit of grounding, so I could put that way, couldn't I? And again, like we do with the ink, just lift it up, have a look. Now we've got another one there. So let's give that a bit of a... And I think we'll just have another bit of a hill there. Again, lift it up, have a look. Yeah, and then I'm thinking we need one. If we put one there, we don't want to go through the mushroom lanterns. So let's just dab that. I want that quite light. And then what I'm thinking is we can bring the moon mask in there, look. Again, just off the page. Now, the same as you would with your inks. I'm just going round. There we go. Now, the beauty with this is, look at that. It's so funny, isn't it? The beauty with this is, get rid of that. If I want to just bring a bit more blue, I can bring some more blue in. If I want to get rid of this harsh edge look, I can blend it with my blue. If I want to bring a bit of the purple in, look, I'm not going to add any more. I'm just going to use what's on my sponge, bring some purple, and then go back in with the blue sponge just to get those colours. I love that. Right, now let's put those to one side. And you know me, oh, I can't be doing with mess. So that's the PanPastels finished with. Now, with PanPastels, obviously, as you can see, the pastel is quite messy. Now, when it comes to fixing them, they used to say hairspray, cheap hairspray, but there is a train of thought that this can actually yellow in time. Now, I suppose it depends how long people will keep the works of art you make for your cards, etc. So, I must admit, I actually have a Crafter's Companion, some of their spray varnishes. They do a spray and shine, a lovely glittery one. They do quite a few, and that's what I use. But obviously, if you've got any spray varnishes, any of your varnishes, you can use that. If you want to try the cheap hairspray route, by all means try it. But I certainly would recommend fixing it, because otherwise, when you touch it, it will come off on your hands. Now, just let me have a little sip. Sorry. So as you can see, we're building up. If I bring the finished one, this is hopefully what we're going for. So we've just made the basis, and these are our background resist, if you look. So if we get on with the stamping now, so I'll bring in my trusty stamping mat, aka magazine and copy of paper. So let's stamp the dragon first. And I think he's Warlock, something like that. And I'm going to stamp him in black. So we're going with the VersaFine. And again, give him a good inking up. Yeah, and let's put him at this angle here. Let's go there. Now, I do hope you're keeping well. How are you all doing, and how are you doing with your lockdown? I think we've got, I must admit, it's 8:30 here in the UK, and we did have a, Boris, I think, was on at 8 o'clock tonight giving the new rules and things. I think we're in more measures, aren't we? I think we're going to be in this situation for a while, so I think we're going to be having these catch-ups, these little coffees, for quite a while. So I think we're just going to have to get used to crafting together, and do you know what? Let's just get on with it. Right, again, silhouette stamp, so give it a few minutes. Again, it's got to get through the pan pastel, soak into the card. There we go, beautiful. So we'll just get rid of him. Now, got a lovely little trick I want to show you. So we'll do the stamping first. So somewhere I've got a larger mushroom lantern. Here we go. I'm really into my coloured VersaFine Clairs at the minute. So this is Monarch. Lovely purpley colour. I'm thinking it goes with sort of the Halloween-y theme. Oh, you know me, I get ink on all these edges. So let's have a, again, I'll have to put it this way, I'm afraid. I'm thinking let's have one there. And this, I want to stamp them over the top of my resist ones. I just love that thing with the resist. Great for backgrounds, and it's just such a lovely little technique to show you. Especially because you don't need embossing powder. Obviously, normally when we do it with inks, we use embossing powders, don't we? Right, now let's think. If we put one, let's put that one there first, and then I'll decide where that one's going to go. Obviously, I'm going to have 3 of these. So, yeah, I think there. Well, let's get it straight. Could be growing at a funny angle. Mind you, it's Halloween, isn't it? It's in the land of spells and things. Yeah, I like that. So what I'm thinking now is let's do this lovely fern. And I've already got this on a block. And this one, I'm going to use Chianti. And again, I just need to clean it from around the edge here. Right, and let's have a few of these. Love this stamp. Just something a bit, I don't know, mysterious, magical. It's a bit, So we've got our different layers, and looks like we've got depth. So I like that. And then for the top, I've got this lovely little, it's one of the pound stamps. It's just 3 leaves. And again, I'm going to use the Chianti. And what you'll find is you can join it up, look, as long as you just make it look like it's, you could actually make almost a whole tree with it. It's so useful. Now remember, at the top, we're just going to alter the height. We don't want it to look like one straight, because things aren't like that in nature, are they? Again, you could do 1st and 2nd generation. I'm actually going to leave it like that. You know me, we don't want a pizza. We don't want too much. Otherwise, let's give that a bit of a wipe. Now, the bit I wanted to show you, the bit that I think's lovely is, we'll just give it a bit of a blot. Look at the back of the card. See, we've got plenty of pan pastel everywhere. Obviously, because I've stamped with the VersaFine clay, it's slow drying. So I just want to give it a bit of a blot, because the next bit, I don't want to spoil the ink. I want to make sure it's dry. So move that out of the way. So this is what we've got so far. Now the next bit, what I want to do is get this lovely white. Now quite often we use our Posca pens, don't we? You know I love my Posca pens, but this is brilliant. What you need is an eraser. Now you can use a normal eraser, but if you get a chance, get one of these. They're fantastic. It's a battery operated eraser. And now look at this. So obviously you see that, and what it does is it rubs the pastel out of the way. What I will say is don't be tempted to brush it though, because you'll smudge the pastel. So this is just such a fabulous technique. If you haven't got one of these, you can use a normal eraser like this, look. I mean, obviously I just love the gadgety on this, but also you can get, it's the great detail. I mean, you can actually get, it's like this if we don't want to get on top of these little fern heads. And look at that, so you've got that lovely white. So obviously it just erases the pastel and takes it back to white. So again, we can do that around the moon. Now I do find this better for a larger area, gives more of a, look at that, so we can get that moon bright back to white, so you don't have to do your masking. You can tell I'm a big kid, can't you? I love this. And again, you can spend longer than me and you can get a really, this bit I am actually, you know I said don't rub, this I am, because I almost want it to be a bit wispy across the moon. You know, like when you get the mist across, you almost get the clouds, so you almost want it a bit sort of wispy like that. I like that. And what I did was on the original, was just very carefully almost highlighting. Sorry, you can probably see the top of my head. I do apologise. Not got any better, have I? While I've been away. There we go. Oh, that looks a bit ropey around his tail. Let me just see if I can just straighten that off a bit. Looks better. Yeah. Right, just a bit there I'm not happy with. What I'm actually going to do, and again, you can do this, I just want to bring a bit more pastel back. Where I've taken it off, I almost took too much off. That's better. Prefer that. Oh, look at my fingers. And do you know what? That's all there is to it. So if I just wipe this, give my hands a bit of a quick wipe. And how quick was that? So all I would do is put it in my spray booth, which is just a cardboard box with a piece of copy paper in the bottom, and spray it with my spray varnish. But look at that. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if I bring the finished one in, which I've just put on some black card. So if you've got your PanPastels, I'd love you to get them out, and I'd love you to have a go. And I hope you like the trick with the little rotating eraser. Certainly it's a good tool to get. Anyway, I'm going to head off now. It's lovely catching up with you again. So take care, everybody. Okay, love and hugs. Bye for now.